Welcome to REL's Division 6 and Division 7. I am your host, Ledeas Oakenbough. Joining me to my right...
Iron Master. Just going over this stuff. How do you want to start off?
Well, we're going to start with number 7. I guess we'll just stop at the top left-hand corner at the Fat Rat Pack. It seems to be a pretty run-of-the-mill team.
Yeah, one thing I wouldn't like is the thrower. Even though it's for consistency, I would just always prefer picking up with Agi 4 and maybe getting sure hands after. How do you think on this?
I think if you're going to use the thrower, it's fine to go ahead and start with him and get him working. Because, hey, he has free extra pass, 6 free throws, he's leveling up. There's leader, you get an extra reroll. I think his bigger problem is he didn't get an apothecary.
Yep,
he took the 12th man.
Took the third reroll when getting the thrower, so leader might be a thing he gets just to cut some TV later in the season.
Well, he took the 12th man, the 12th rat, instead of the apoth. And a bench is good, but not when you need to... I mean, right now everybody's fresh, so if he loses somebody, I guess it's only going to hurt money-wise. It's not going to hurt long-time development. But I like the apothecary. I play elves, they're expensive.
Yep, that's definitely true. But with these linemen, as long as they die, they'll be fine.
You got it. You want to go ahead and take a look at the next one?
Yep, sounds good.
All right.
To Lords of Decay.
So we're going to be moving a little fast this first week because we want to get through the teams and introduce everybody to the rest of the Rebel and the rest of the REL, especially. And this team is pretty much just the opposite of what the last one was. Pretty standard fare of 11 men.
Yep, he got the apothecary instead of the bench, and pretty much looks perfect to me.
Would be really fun is if they face each other in the first week, and I don't think they do. No, Lords of Decay at the moment has the free game if they don't get their 14th player, and Fat Rack is going up against the Lords of Losing, who we will see eventually.
Yep, that's definitely something that we're gonna have to look at.
Half Pint Heroes. You wanna do the negative remark here, or shall I?
5 dwarves.
5 dwarves was not what I was going to bust
right.
with. I agree with you.
6 dwarves and losing a team reroll for it.
Ah, I wouldn't have done that either.
Even though you really want the bull centaurs to be like having extra rerolls to do stuff, I think that's just a nice thing to have.
How about you're missing an E in Heroes?
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Yep. It's a shame.
Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I started I do a different start with my my Chaos Dwarf team, but I'm probably in the minority because I start with 6 and 4 and a Minotaur.
That is definitely a minority, having the Minotaur in there.
I've built my Bull Centaurs with block and break tackle.
That sounds about right. Well, usually you want one to at least get sure hands if you're going to be trying to score with your strength 4.
I rely on the love of the dice.
Fair enough. Just gotta watch out on burning rerolls that way.
That's right. Well, why don't you take us into the next one?
Okay, so the next one's going to be Culinary Delights. Let's see if it loads in.
They look like they have played a game, and they did. They played a game against Elaborate Death Traps, and they won it 2-0. But it looks like...
Cost.
Yeah.
Well, he has his Chaos Warriors, and Loners aren't going to be too bad. I'm quite used to this, playing Chaos myself, so... Right now he's gotten an MVP on a Chaos Warrior, which is going to be big. He's gotten block on one piece, which is going to be very nice to blitz with and such. The AV7 I would personally cut, because you're not going to want an AV7 Beastman unless he's already developed or has a numbers or stat up on. Other than that, his team build looks good. I'm betting there was another Beastman before it died. That's about it for that.
Well, that's wild. His that Tully boy, the second level Beastman, he got all 10 SPP. He did not get MVP. So
now,
That's
He
wild.
Scored twice, double injury.
I mean,
Exactly. 2 touchdowns, 2 injuries.
yeah.
That's actually pretty crazy.
And the other guy's
All
got
in
a
one match.
he's got a centaur that leveled up. That's going to be fun. I will bow to your wisdom. I'm wondering, definitely you're gonna have to fire that level 7 or that AV7 when you have the money to do so. I mean, I would play with him until you got that money.
No, I would ditch him because AV7's just so.
You think a lineman's more important? I mean, a loner is better than an AV7?
Definitely. He could at least hold on to him for this game because it won't matter. But I really suggest ditching him.
I can't stand it when a loner gets my SPP.
Well, there's also the chance of the loner dies instead of your player.
That's fair. Well, there you have the Culinary Delights already having a win in the first week.
Okay, so we got no name yet. Let's see if they load in.
In classic Orc Green.
They got the enter the team motto.
What?
Some
Nice.
people just don't want to have fun,
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Now, do you see anything controversial in here?
No, this is pretty standard, isn't it?
Yeah, but many people do not like the orc thrower.
Yeah, well, many people are just angry at the world and don't know how to have happiness.
That's true. They also don't like the AV8 though.
Yeah, I mean, AV8. I play Dark Elves and everybody's like, oh man, you got great elf armor, it's AV8. But apparently the Orc Thrower with AV8 is bad. Why?
It's bad mostly because he's probably going to be your main ball carrier if you have him. So when he does get targeted, he's the special one that has less armor than everyone else. So if he does get hit, he's more likely to get injured.
That's why you ought to throw it to the blitzers.
Well, you gotta usually get an Agi one. or with an Agi blitzer.
Now, I don't play a lot of orcs. Is this a normal build and missing the apothecary?
Yep. Now, is that fan factor because he played a game or he dumped it in there?
He has... well, let's take a look at his statistics. No, he has no games. He has no history.
I do not like the fan factor in there. That's one thing I would say, to move to a cheerleader or coach assistant if he's wanting to run this, because he does have all his positionals he really wants at the beginning. The black works and the blitzers, so that's fine. But fan factor is going to come and go naturally, while the cheerleaders and your coach assistants will stay.
I mean,
I really like having one of those.
I enjoyed the cheerleaders and the coaching assistants when I first started playing, and then I learned, that the 40 TV, 50, 60 TV just wasn't worth the free reroll here and there.
Well, I do like only putting 1 point in it, because usually that's like 1 point each is 20 TV, which generally isn't going to break the bank, but usually you just siphon it off afterwards when your fan factor is high.
Well, the other side of the coin is that, if you'd had that 10K left over, you'd be just that much closer to your apothecary, and you're going to want it when your people start leveling up.
Especially when that turns that 4 roll into a 3 roll on your winnings, so you get just enough to get that apothecary on an easier roll to get. But it's not going to be too vital for him with AV9 generally.
That's fair. That's fair. Unlike our next team, the Bitter Sagis.
Yes, definitely. Let's see what's going on with them.
You poor Norse fellas with your level 7s. Or AV7s.
Play the team. And do you like the Yeti?
I do not like the Yeti on a personal level. I hate the Yeti on a personal level. I understand his use with the claw, and even the disturbing presence can be useful. I think without having any runners and then without having any berserkers, you're going to be sorry for this.
I generally don't think the Yeti's good at the beginning.
I like the 2 Ulf Warners, and you're not facing off against a troll. You're not facing off of a lot against, other big guys. So I don't see where the Yeti's all that helpful.
Yeti's mostly just to deal with orcs, I would guess, and getting frenzy pieces early on are fun. But,
yeah, I mean,
that's super unreliable is the problem.
I guess if you want to try to surf somebody from one side of the field to the other, four frenzy pieces is the way to go.
What I don't like, though, is that it shows the Yeti over the second Berserker and an extra, positional.
No, I fully agree. I mean, for the price of that Yeti, I don't know what the price of a runner is, but I'm sure you could have afforded him and an apothecary.
pretty sure a runner is 90k and a thrower would be 70, but you really don't want to throw at the beginning.
Yeah, I picked the throw the first time I ever played Norse. Every Norse team afterward, I will not make one.
Yeah, not coming in with sure hands generally makes them just not that great. They have the pass skill. That's it.
Well, he's got block because he's Norse.
That's true.
Well, you want to take a look at our undead friends?
Yep, let me back out of this menu. We got Sunken Crypt Lords by Redbeard.
Well, Redbeard, you have a very good, strong traditional build as well. I personally think you should have picked up a skeleton or two, just so you could have somebody with that extra move. How do you feel about that, Iron Master?
I generally like zombies, though, because you're not going to have to change your playstyle for anything like accommodating skeleton anywhere. And zombies just take hits pretty well.
Well,
it's nice.
I guess the real hope here is you're going to want to make zombies. So
yeah, that's just going to be the one nice thing. He wants to probably get 1 or 2 zombies as he's still in the earlier levels. And I would have personally picked up another ghoul, I think.
Well, he's got 30k in the bank, so if he does well in his first game, it wouldn't be hard for him to buy a third one.
Well, no, he could have bought one now by replacing a zombie, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't mind I'm not a big fan of the ghouls in general, but 2 on the field during offense and as many off as you can get during defense, unless they're specifically built one way or the other to do something. For example, if you've got a ghoul with, dodge, wrestle, and let's say dauntless, he makes a pretty good ball hawk.
Yeah, I just personally like the third ghoul because that's going to get a lot of SPP on each one. Because the main thing is that they're going to be your primary ball handlers.
True, with
you're going to get a lot stacked on it if you only have 2.
That's true. With the white being your only real option. I love mummies, and I'm interested in seeing how these 2 develop.
Yep. Mummies are great, just them to A3 is no bueno.
Yeah, a movement up zombie is a lot of fun.
Anyway, let's move on to the elaborate death traps that did play their first game.
That's right. They're the ones who lost, but Mr. Big has a level up. They most likely have a dead hobgoblin there. They've got
I want to note something.
No, go ahead.
Both teams actually have less TV than they started with, so they both got hit hard. Ooh.
And a speed-busted dwarf.
That's not good. That's tossing, I think.
Well, again, you're in the early days, so you may have to play him just so you have a guy. And he's already got 2 SPP.
Play that one. That one I would probably play, but I would ditch as soon as possible, man. I just don't see any reason for keeping a busted one that late.
Okay.
So you can grab the apothecary, then do another one.
Iron Master.
Yes.
Do you mind terribly if we enact an old metal rule?
Go ahead.
If you don't have your level ups done when we do our reviews, we're going to talk nicely about you for like 3 seconds and then skip you over.
Ooh, sounds good.
All right.
Let's go.
So let's look at the oil miners. My computer is taking a moment to load. There we are, loaded up. Yep. And now we have stripe-wearing dwarves.
Wait, let me see that. Oh yeah, they do have the stripes. Got the pajama pants.
Bringing back 1984 all by themselves. Jam.
Now, I'm pretty sure he's playing one of the only dwarf rosters out there that are super viable, which is all your positionals and 5 longbeards with your 3 rerolls.
I like it. I mean,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of the apothecary. I said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it next week. But with dwarves, yeah. What are you going to do? Give up a runner? Screw that.
Yeah, you really can't. You can't even just say, "Oh, I'll give up 1 runner and try to go to a longbeard," because they have
yeah, that's only a
10k difference.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, no, I think you've done. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, that would be giving up too much for the apothecary on this team.
I agree with you. I think he's done a very good job in building his team, and people are going to hate you, sir, but you keep doing your dwarven business.
Stack guard, stack MB.
Okay, so we can skip over the admin squad as that is a 0-cost team. that is
Yeah,
theirs.
they built that terribly.
I know. I don't think they're going to win any games this season. Hopefully, they'll quickly get replaced.
Yeah, I really do hope so.
And the Lords of Losing are apparently a bye-week team as well.
Yeah,
Ah,
that definitely makes sense.
built by our own Rodder Haringzord. If give a little shout out if you have the chance to go to Reddit and look at his work, do so. You will be happy.
He is probably one of our best people out here doing everything.
Especially since he's making content that doesn't require YouTube.
It's true.
No competition with him. Haha. Uh-oh.
So, very concede.
Uh-oh.
It's actually not a concede team.
Not a concede team. It was trying to hide. He has done things that we're going to like, and he has done things we're not going to like.
At least I hope this isn't a concede team.
He has... Oh, that's fair. It very well could be. The coach there is, I believe, an administrator in the rookie league.
Yep.
So this may...
We'll see after our first one, just to see if it's concede victory next time.
Right.
But, I don't even know.
If he is a legitimate team, he's got a rat ogre, which is a little odd. A lot of people don't start with a rat ogre, but he does have his apothecary. So I guess if you're going to pay a lot for a couple of rats, make sure you keep them in the game.
Yep.
Um,
We'll figure out if that's real or not next time.
So let me ask you something. Would you have rather went with the thrower or the third gutter runner?
Third generator all day.
I think so. In this build, I think I agree with you. In the other build, I like the thrower.
Yeah, mostly because you can fit them in pretty comfortably.
Well, sir,
Okay.
our next one.
Yeah. Chaos Colonials. So, let's see if we can get any. So we got the standard 3 reroll, 4 Chaos Warrior, Crester Beastman. It's what we've been over, but it's just so solid for Chaos starting team. Because the Minotaur is really hard to get.
What do you think about 10 Beastmen and a Minotaur?
I couldn't do it. You're just losing so much strength advantage on each of your players. So, that's my personal take on that.
Gotcha. Well, Gamba's concede team is there, so we can bypass that one.
Yeah, the Innsmouth Lookers.
A lizard team.
That is an unintelligible motto except for Cthulhu. Okay.
Huh. I wonder if the LA stands for Los Angeles. Cthulhu LA. I think you have a good point there, sir. I'm even gonna try.
I'll just agree with that.
Well, he is starting with a Crocs.
I personally like this one because he has the 2 rerolls, the Crocs, Allosaurus, and 4 Skinks. So he's definitely going to be leveraging the strength game on everybody.
Ooh, yeah, but
The 2 rerolls just sucks because
They're-
Lizards need to save up for 120 for the first games and have to deal with all those no skills.
right. I don't know if I'd have done this. Let's see here. If he had instead went with a Skink instead of a Crocs, and his reroll, he would be at 40k. So he would have been 1 game away from his apothecary. I think I would have went that way because right now you're hoping that people pick up the ball and you're hoping things don't die.
Well, it's mostly that Saurus and your Croxagore are wanting to eat up MVPs as soon as possible.
That's fair.
And any level towards them is great. And you're eventually going to get block and become reliable. They had the same problem as Chaos where they just have no skills.
Well, we are looking at quite a few concede teams here. Division 7 is a bit of a spillover, but hopefully they'll pick up a few stragglers here and there and round it out. And look forward to seeing what you guys do with your new teams.
Honestly, I think this division's going to have a nice time. Since there's less coaches, there's going to be a couple bye weeks, which is going to be boring for them, but it's going to let their teams level up and progress pretty safely.
And heal.
Getting this next games back on the board is quite nice.
Indeed. Well, would you like to go ahead and start with Division 6?
I would. Let's get over there.
Oh, wait. I just thought of something stupid. You ready?
Yeah.
For Division 7, it's first week. Take a pick. Who's taking it to the top?
This. Let me guess. I personally think that it's going to be Fat Rat Pack.
You think the Fat Rat Pack's going to take it to the top?
Yep, the first one's going to be first, you know?
Okay. I had two in my head in case you picked one, so I'm going to go with the Crocs and the rest of his cronies. Go with the Lizardman team. Lizardman is a strong team right out the box. If your gamble pays off and your strength team, your strength advantage works out, I think you can take it.
Yeah, Lizardmen are definitely a very high win team. I think I was looking at some statistics from Eyes and Mike, and he said Lizards generally win 50% of their games, or a little bit over 50%, so...
Wow.
Generally, they're winners.
Well, would you like to start us off in Division 6?
Yes, it would. So, first thing in Division 6, there's only 11 out of 14 teams, so this one has not started off yet. We got all teams that are actually in the game. Let's see this first one, which is Towson Loop-a-Doops. Hopefully I got that right.
Loop-a-Doops!
I love lemon cakes. I do too, man.
You guys are on your own then.
Anyway. Oh, this is a weird team. So, are you seeing what I'm seeing here?
I am actually agreeing with you. I don't...
60K in the bank, and you got 2 throwers.
And he's got 12 players, but not 4 blitzers.
Yeah, he has 2 Fan Factory bot, 2 rerolls, no apothecary, has money for an apothecary. This is a very confusing team to me.
He's got 1 win. Let's check and see if it's in this week. No, because it hasn't started. So that means you played a spin game.
Yeah.
So maybe he had 11 people and the 12th blitzer is just his new No, it can't be because it has MVP. Let's see here.
I'm really confused.
That left Wolf has played 1 match.
Yeah.
Bosch
really,
has played 1 match. And Fentleberry has played 1 match. So you started the game with 3 blitzers. Why didn't you sell the 11th guy and pick up your 4th blitzer?
Yeah, blitzers are really strong, especially since they have the strength access right out of the gate. That's how you get your MB, your hopefully dodge if you roll doubles, and then maybe a pile on one.
Yeah, I mean...
And other stuff.
I'm interested to see what you're going to do with this. And then 2 rerolls and 1 apothecary, you're not protecting anybody, so... And I don't know if I would have went with the 2 throwers. I'm more of a 1 thrower until you get further along.
I generally like the list where you take 1 thrower, 2 catchers, and your 4 blitzers with your ogre. Press lineman.
All right.
So that's definitely going to be an interesting team.
Yeah, I do like the idea of a thrower, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of 2 throwers. You build 1 to be a thrower and you build 1 to be a runner. That way you can have a thrower on your defense who can get in there with that sure hands and snag the ball when need be.
Yeah. So I hope this coach does good and
proves us all wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to like this next team.
Lebowski's Urban Achievers.
Who has...
motto is real quick.
He has 4 of his spin games, so he has 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
Ooh, that's not fun.
Those
spin games definitely did trim some TV off him.
They did, but he also has his Chaos Warriors coming up with 2 Mighty Blow, 1 dodge. He's got a blocking, so that's going to be a blitzing beast man. He's got his rerolls. He's got his apothecary.
One thing I would like to point out is that this guy is obviously wanting to do the Mighty Blow just to get a lot of SP quick so he can get blocked. I like the dodge doubles pickup. It's really hard to do on a first level, but I do like making him a ball carrier and trying to get the 2nd level just to make it blodge, hopefully. And
yeah.
Anything to deal with.
I think a lot of people forget that the Chaos Warrior is one of few Strength 4 people who have an agility worth a damn.
Yeah, definitely nice. one thing I don't see is sure hands, which I'm really confused about.
Well,
But-
I guess at the moment he's doing the attack, and he'll worry about scoring later.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he does. He did pretty good in the spin games, right?
Yeah, he's like 2-1-1.
1-1. It's pretty solid. He has no motto, and moving on now.
Apparently, mottos make you sad, sir.
Yeah, mottos are nice flavor text for it.
Well, then the Olive Garden here ought to make you pretty happy.
So we have the Olive Garden with a 980 orc team. When you hear your family, like it.
Now,
Got food names.
the Troll and the Goblin spaghetti and meatball. Very nice.
I like that. He's chosen a alternative roster for orcs, which is the Troll and the Goblin.
Right.
How do you think about that?
I'm a big fan of the Troll as the third lineman. I'm not a big fan of the Goblins.
Not even for the one-turn attempt?
Just never had a lot of fun or luck with that. I do get the idea there, and I also understand the desire to use the Goblin as a missile. So, you do give yourself a lot more options by doing that. Me personally, I see the Troll as a regenerating beat stick that's hard to move, both for your opponent and yourself.
Definitely true. I actually kind of like how he's done it. He's gotten the 4 Blizzards, 4 Blackworks. The only thing I'm sad about is that he can't get a lineman until later, and he'll be able to get his Dirty Player, which is definitely a nice thing on an orc team.
Right, because, you definitely don't want to have your Black Orcs or your Blitzers kicked off the field. So who does that leave?
He's got the Goblin for now, at least.
Well, I think that's going to be fun. I hope it works out for you. Let's take a look at your history. No, you did not do any spin games.
Now, one thing I wanted to also see is the team rerolls is actually 2. So
It
he's
i-
probably going to have to pick up that as soon as possible, then the extra, and hope no one dies in the meantime.
Yeah, I guess if you watch this before you play, you have time to change it up if you think we have good ideas. But if not, rock your Troll. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely want to see how that goes. That's going to be a fun team to watch.
Who knows? You might be the next Huge Jackman. Spaghetti leading the news.
Yep, so now we got the TeamSpeak Crew version 4.
It's all their fault.
Yeah, it is.
And it is a traditional build.
Yep, you got your Bull Centaurs, a 5 blocker, 3 reroll with all Hobgoblins. I still have to say, I personally like the 6 Dwarf.
I wouldn't play this team without the 6 Dwarves. That's just me personally. Unless I was playing a lineman league, then it would be all Hobgoblins, but no sir.
Definitely the best animations out of most of the teams.
And what's that?
Like, have you seen the fouling with the Chaos Dwarf blockers and the Hobgoblins?
I know that the Hobgoblin kind of looks around to make sure nobody's looking, and then he stabs you in the eye with his big toe.
Yep, and then the blockers just go to town and start wailing on people.
Oh, that's right. Well,
It's pretty great.
let's take a look at the Rebel Rousers, played by, is that Dr. JBP?
Yep, JBP.
All
about
about
the rabble rousing.
He has no spin game, so this is a fresh team out the gate.
This might be a rookie league team person, because I could see a lot of the rookie league leader names in there.
Yeah, I see that too. Purple Saber, Cake and Grod, Squiggy. Yes, sir. So, this is a more traditional build than the last human team. Still missing an Apothecary, but got a little money in the bank to get one.
I think I personally would switch out one of the linemen for another catcher, but that's all personal preference, because he has enough money for that.
Right.
But it definitely does get him closer to that Apothecary, which is pretty much needed on humans.
Yeah, because your players are going to end up being specific pieces that do specific things. You're not like an elf where everyone can catch, and you're not like a chaos where everyone can hurt.
Yeah.
So,
But I personally just don't like the human linemen, mostly because they only get general access, which is going to be a problem.
really, I thought for 50K, they were considered to be pretty good linemen.
I just personally like my Beastmen.
Well, how much do they cost?
They cost 10K more, but they get so much more access.
Yeah, they get strength and mutation, but
Yep.
nothing you can do about mutation except take a look at thick, rich, and creamy.
Ooh. Now, this team has played some spin games, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to be.
Statistics.
1-1-1.
Eat a burrito like Jimmy Burrito eats a burrito.
Yeah, well, the coach is Jimmy Burrito, so I guess those are words to live by.
Yep. He's got a Black Wolf, which I really like. That's definitely going to be imperative with the Frenzy.
Yes, but he only has one ghoul, which you don't like.
It's a little bit different on Necromantic, I believe.
You think
He
so?
does have 3 scoring threats now. It's definitely nice. And
Well,
especially since the whites can also handle ball if really need be.
Yeah, I was about to say, technically he has 5 if you want to use a white.
Yeah.
And you don't have the option. You have to take zombies, right?
I think so. But I could be wrong. One thing I have to say is either the MVP's landed right,
Right.
or, something's going right somewhere.
Well, let's take a look.
On those fleshies.
Apparently, Havarti Makes You Farty did get an MVP. And Forever Provolone did get an MVP. So, yep.
That is some insane luck right there.
You know what that means, right?
What?
That means Flesh Golem Vanity Pass in the 8th or 16th turn.
Ooh, I like it. It's
Haha.
definitely going to be cool.
Oh, now this is an elf team after my heart.
Okay, let's move on to Please Don't Murder Me, High Elves, by Luke Sum. Says he dies a lot.
Yeah, well, that part I'm not too proud about.
Yeah. But 2 blitzers, 2 catchers, thrower. Standard lineup. Got 2 rerolls, which he has to do.
Oh, I don't know if I'd have done this, to be honest with you. I mean, 2 blitzers, yes. The thrower, I would because I love throwing. I wouldn't took the catchers, I would have took linemen.
Ooh, I am against that one. I think the catchers are the main piece in this because they're movement 8, strength 3.
They are
So they're
amazing.
doing a lot.
I know it's
mean-
really hard. It's really hard to build an elf team and get safe.
I think the High Elf team is probably the hardest one to work with. Mostly because it's what's your actual want in this, and you can hardly have any positionals.
Right. No, I mean you're going to be fighting an uphill battle, and until 3 or 4 of your people get skills, it's going to be a rough day.
Now, one thing I don't like is the fan factor already purchased. Like I said, it's either cheerleader or coach assistant, or in this one, I would especially say just keep 10K.
Yeah, you're going to want your apothecary soon, because when you're talking about pieces between 70 and 100 and 110, or is it just 100?
70 to 100.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be expensive.
Definitely. Really can't afford to lose a lineman, a blitzer or a catcher anytime soon. If he loses a lineman, he'll be fine with the loners. They can be lost too.
Well,
But
go
they're a
ahead.
good team.
Go ahead and add a little bit of controversy with our next elf team.
So we got the Nightmare on Elf Street, like the name.
Get a motto.
Yep, get a motto.
1, 2, Dark Elves coming for you. How easy was that?
Yeah,
So he's got
definitely would have been perfect.
he's got 2 blitzers
And a runner.
and a
Now, I
runner.
know these particular kind of elves of the dark variety are your specialty, so do you have anything to...
Well, I can't say that they are my specialty. I did start them, and I've been playing them since I've been in the Rebel. But I started my team with 4 blitzers, and the rest were linemen, and I took every reroll I could get my hands on.
Okay, I was making sure that they do have 4 blitzers, so I don't agree with this build. The apothecary at the beginning I might have taken off just for the blitzers.
I don't know. I mean, the apothecary is important, but if you take away the runner, what have you got? You're back up to 80K or 90K. What is he? 100? I can't see him.
The blitzers are 100K.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been enough. Is the runner 80 or 90?
He's 80.
So he's not enough
the
to get.
reroll is 50, and he has 100K, so that's 60K. So I could upgrade 2 linemen into blitzers.
Yeah, I mean, you want as many rerolls as you can get your hands on, and it's worth having dead elves in the beginning to get those rerolls.
So I'm not sure if this coach is going to go after the reroll or the blitzers first. I just personally would say he needs those blitzers more than the...
it really comes down to your level ups. I mean, if he's getting a lot of dodge, he's going to be... What's he going to need his reroll for? Pickups? He gets 1 or 2 elves with sure hands.
Oh, no, I'm more against the 2 blitzers instead of 4.
I mean, I agree with you. 4 blitzers is the way to go. That's the reason why you play dark elves. Blitzers.
Yep.
Or witch elves. But they're even more expensive.
Be, having a bunch of 70k dirty players.
Speaking of dirty players, let's go ahead and take a look at our Bretonians.
Knights of Cord and Panda.
Panda made me do it.
Like it. So we got Vort here. He has 3 blitzers and 4 blockers.
Now on the Bretonian teams, I've been playing around with them a lot, and you can get away with 3 knights with 4 blitzers, easy. The knights are your star pieces, and your blockers technically are going to become your violence because they have strength access.
Yeah.
So
I do like how he has the 3 rerolls, but I still would have elected to take another blitzer instead of a blocker.
I have to disagree with you on this one. I think he's built very well.
I could be totally wrong in this.
Well, I mean, it really comes down to your play style. 3 blitzers allows you to build the blitzers as key pieces. You could get, obviously, a lot of people want to go dodge, so you have blodging. That's great. They got catch, so they're good at it being handed off too. If you build one of them as a passer, then you've got a passing game. There's a lot of fun things you can do with them. Don't neglect your peasants. That's my advice. Don't neglect your peasants. Buy more. They don't care if they get level up. You're going to be stomping people with them. They're 40k. Stomp people with them.
Sounds about right. So I may be wrong with the positionals, mostly because that's more MVP chances on your good players.
Right.
So I can definitely see this being viable.
Your blitzers are probably going to be 50% of your carrying, so they're going to get scores. It's not a problem.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next team.
Yes, sir. Bring it in.
Dead Pirates. Robert is 4.
Oh, we have a nice little joke here.
Roberts.
Yeah, instead of the Dread Pirate Roberts, I said that's why the quote is "As you wish."
Ah, okay.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's a very classic that people love.
Okay. So.
I'm just saying, if
Yeah,
Andre the
yeah.
Giant's not in here.
Hey, there's your skeletons. Yeah,
Yep.
2 of them.
He does, which in my opinion is a good idea. You want a well-rounded team.
The thing I do not like is the 2 rerolls. I think I would have not gotten the bench for a reroll.
Do you think he should have given up his 12th player, his 3rd ghoul?
No, he has 30k in the bank. He could have just ditched a zombie.
So,
Or skeleton if he wanted to.
so there you go. The 3rd ghoul's not as important as the 3rd reroll.
No, I said you could keep the ghoul. He has a 12-person bench.
Oh, you're saying get rid of the zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, I would disagree with that then. I could definitely see getting rid of the ghoul, buying the reroll in its place, and trying to make new friends out of other people's teams.
Yeah. Well, he's still going to have 30k in the bank, so that's
True.
not going to hurt him too bad.
Of course,
The reroll's going to be hard to get to.
he may have a real fit for this the theme. I mean, the names are all the characters from the movie. Princess's Bride.
I can't say I've seen it.
Maybe a little bit before your time, sir.
Maybe a little bit.
Oh, look, another Green Orc team.
It's good. Big green weenies. The 970 TV team.
They have built their team a little bit more along the lines that I would like. I wouldn't start off this way because you are missing an apothecary, a reroll for the cost of the troll. I do like the troll. The troll would be the 12th person I would pick up, but I wouldn't have done it at the cost of the reroll.
Now, I think the important thing that a lot of these orc coaches are realizing is that they need all 4 blitzers and all 4 blackworks, so they're definitely not giving up on those.
Yeah.
I don't like the rerolls being at 2, but what are you going to do?
Not play a troll?
Yeah. And he could have sacrificed a lineman for a 2 goblins if he wanted to, but honestly, I think this is a decent one if he's going to be using the troll as a roadblock. And I can't wait to see where this is going.
Yeah, it would be neat to see how he differs from the other orc builds. Oh, poor admin squad. Guess we can skip you.
Yep. And they got bye week later. So, the nervous ninnies. Now, that's Herring Sword.
Yeah, this is another spot being saved for a new player. The small concede, and then bye week number 1. So there you go. The last 4 teams here are going to be concede teams. You want to take a look at the schedule real quick?
Schedule's not out. Oh, it is.
Well, they do have a schedule. They just haven't started playing yet. I don't know if it's open and they're waiting to see what happens. But with 4 teams being available as concedes, plus, yeah, I mean they've got 3 missing from the lineup. So somebody hasn't made their concede team fall out.
Yeah, I think they're trying to wait for people to accept some tickets, or if people are out right now.
Right,
that's
because
just a huge problem that's going on.
Yeah, with the 3 admin call games here, you can tell instantly that something is amiss. So, do you want to pick a team now, and then of course we reserve the right to change since not all the teams are in yet.
Yeah, I think. Thick, rich, and creamy.
You're picking thick, rich, and creamy.
I think it's just a solid team there.
Plus,
they already got some level ups, which is going to put him above the crowd.
Yeah, the spin games is going to give him definite advantage. Jimmy Burrito, should you watch this, if you'd like to show us on a YouTube video of how we should be eating burritos like Jimmy Burrito does, I would welcome that.
Same here. We might even put it up front before the whole video.
I am going to pick Knights of Cord and Panda.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one to watch out for.
I think you are going to be able to have a lot of fun, cause a lot of chaos, and if you can win some games along the way, then you will justify my choices and my pride in your picks.
So, I think that just about wraps it up.
Yes, sir. Since I spoke a lot, why don't you take us out?
Okay, so thanks for everyone for watching. This has been Iron Master and my co-host Ledeas. And have a good one.
Farewell.